Yo, what's crack-a-lackin', Challenger? I'm your host, James Morelan. Today we're setting up a 1-gallon Nano Aquascape aquarium using these materials and this 1-gallon aquarium. I'm super excited because over the past week I've been aquascaping only Nano Aquariums. I have another video coming up this Friday, so make sure you look out for that. I actually aquascaped this like 1,000 milliliter, some like really small aquarium right there, which is like a mountain aquascape. This tank is doing really awesome. I'll talk about it a little bit later in the video, but honestly I just want to jump right into making this aquarium. So I have the substrate, the plants, the stones. I actually have a special surprise aquascaping thing that I'll talk about a little bit later in the video, so make sure you look out for that. Alright, so let me take you down here and show you guys what I have. Alright, so this is the 1-gallon aquarium, and also this is the light I have attached to it. This is a very cheap, like $7 aquarium light that I got from eBay, and it's actually broken, so only half the LEDs work, and I was like, I could either throw it away or I could put on this aquarium. I'll see how it does with the plants over the next couple days, but if it doesn't do well, I'll probably just change it. I have a couple other lighting options, but yeah, I just want to see if it would work in this tank. So for substrate, I'm actually using a darker substrate. This is Eco-Complete, and it's a darker lava rock kind of aquarium substrate, and you can see it all here. This is one of my favorite substrates. I love to use it in my aquariums. I have that little cup full, and I also have this cup full. So hopefully it'll add a nice layer. I have some more of this in my fish room, so if I need more, I can get some more. Plants, I actually chose some low-light aquarium plants for my 20-gallon aquarium. I just removed some of the propagation ones, and I actually took a cool plant that I want to add to this, which is Anubis Nano Petite, and it was growing pretty well on a piece of lava rock. And I decided to remove it, and I'll try growing it in here. But speaking of lava rock, this is the actual stone we will be using today. So I have quite a few pieces of lava rock that I used in an old aquarium, and I decided to try reviving it and using it in this aquarium. So hopefully that turns out pretty well. I do have an idea of what I want to do, and I also have that surprise element, so I'll be using that a little bit later in the video. But I guess let's just get started and right into it by adding this substrate to the tank. So I'm going to use this first cup and just pour the rest of it in. And I'll use the rest of it in here with this. Alright, sweet. So this is what the substrate looks like. I'm kind of smoothing it out a little bit. I might add a little bit more just so it's a little thicker since this is going to be a planted aquarium. Yeah, you can see it's a darker tone, and this lava rock, once it's added to water, it glows. Like, it literally has such a cool texture. Like, you can see this part is a little bit wet. I'm gonna use this light, but you can see how much color it has, and it'll look really cool against that black rock. Alright, so I'm gonna add a couple of the stones in, and I guess I should probably get my surprise element and not keep you guys waiting. But before that, I'll put some of these taller plants in the background. I've noticed that it is a lot easier to put the plants behind rocks before you put the rocks in, because it's usually a pain to have to move between the rocks. These are actually a little tall. I might have to cut them and propagate them. Like this one, no, I'll cut it and propagate it. So it is a stem plant, so it's just easy. You just gotta use your finger, just rip it off a little bit. And when you do that, you wanna look for when it has roots coming off of it, so it's easier for it to adapt to the new aquarium. So adding a couple more. I guess I'll have some taller plants on that side. Add another stone. Guess fill it in a little bit more in the back. And now time for the surprise element. So the surprise thing that I will be using for this aquarium is choya wood. So this is a massive piece of choya wood, which I absolutely love. I talked about this in my last video when I was setting up this tank, that I should use it, so I'm actually going to be putting it right over here. I want a little bit of it out of the water. I want to put another special thing inside of it, but I think that just looks so cool. I don't know if I like the blue. I might switch that out later in the video. The blue light just has a different texture, or like a different, it just makes the tank look cold. I don't know if that's something I want to go for. Actually, I could try this right now. One sec. Oh, snap. Okay, never mind. Alright, we're getting rid of that old light. I love the warmth. That actually adds so much more color to it, and I bet it looks better on camera. So sorry about that confusion in case you thought I was going to be using that light. I thought I would, but I guess not. I'll have to get a different light for this Nano Aquascape. Wow, that actually adds so much more detail. Okay, well, guess I'm going to have to use this light somewhere else. Alright, so I'll just add some rocks. I am pretty excited for what this choya wood will look like in the aquarium. It hopefully doesn't float, which usually happens when you set up a new aquarium. With wood, it needs to absorb the water so it stays sunken. You don't have a lot of real estate to work with in this small aquarium, so I'm kind of doing the best with what I have. Alright, so that is the Anubis. I think it's Nano Petite. You can see the rhizome going on. I actually super glued this with this, I got quite a few questions about this in the last video. Some people thought it would kill anything that goes in the aquarium, and that's actually not true. This super glue creates an acrylic bond, which is completely safe for aquariums, and you don't have to worry about it killing your fish. I also have a moss ball, and it looks like 2 snails at the bottom. 1 ram horn snail and also a bladder snail. I don't know what I should do with those 2. Alright, I'll just add the lava rock with the Anubis. I don't know if I want to have it like that. Oh, that actually creates like a little bit of a planted shelf. Yeah, I'll keep it like that. I like that. And just adding it into the back. If there's one thing I don't like doing is when the plants get uprooted and having to stick your hand back in and fix it. That's always a mess. That's one thing that I don't like about planted tanks, but other than that, they're pretty easy. I just hate when they get uprooted. There is no filter in this aquarium, so I'm just gonna leave it up to natural filtration, and nothing is going to be going in this aquarium, so I don't have to worry about fish. Yeah, I guess it's just a natural filtration. I might actually want to get a nano shrimp for this, or maybe some baby shrimp, and see how they do. But that's basically the aquascape. I will throw a little bit of a moss ball right there. And now I guess it's time to fill it up with some water. Alright, so I'm going to fill it up in the back. One thing I like about this is I actually saved this water bottle because it has a nozzle. And this is great for when you're filling small tanks like this. I use this in my other aquarium just because it doesn't create a lot of movement, so it doesn't uproot your things for the most part, compared if you were to use like a siphon. And you can see it's slowly filling at the bottom. I'm gonna go fill the rest of this tank, and I'll come back in a second. But before I do that, make sure you drop a like on this video. It would help so much and support the channel a ton. Alright, see you guys then. Alright guys, so I am back, and I'm excited to show you the finalized tank. It filled up, and I actually have something, I don't know if this is a mistake or if it was actually pretty cool, but I'll show you guys what the tank looks like. Alright, so I accidentally created a blackwater tank. So as you can see, this aquarium is actually like a weird color. It's like a brown, darker color. This is actually called a blackwater aquarium. This is when natural tannins are released from either almond leaves, choya wood, Malaysian driftwood, but basically like types of wood that actually release natural tannins. Tannins help your aquarium and also like fish with healing them. It's like natural remedies, I guess, for fish. People actually strive to have this tank, and some people hate to have this tank. I guess in this case, it's okay. I actually kind of like how it looks, but you can also see I added an air plant to the top of this tank. So I was planning on having it inside the choya wood with that hole. However, the choya wood started to float, so I added a rock to the top. And then to weigh it down more, I put that flat rock, but I wanted to have this air plant inside of it. However, even if the water level was low enough for the air plant, water would still seep up through on the top of the choya wood. You can see this is actually soaked with water, and that would have been bad for the air plant because air plants are actually meant to stay in a dry location. They do, however, need to be watered every like 2 weeks. You can check them out down below, wildpetsupply.com. But yeah, this is what the tank looks like. You can see the plants. It's like a weird tank. Some people probably won't like it, some people will like it. It's up to you, up to your tastes. If you like to see this natural looking, like this is kind of what you'd find in like a riverbed, especially depending on the type of fish and the area that you're getting them. Maybe like in a river or a stream. Leaves might have fallen into it. Also, I've noticed that choya wood is actually kind of like a natural filter. Probably not in this tank, but when I have water flow going into a bigger tank with a piece of choya wood like this, detritus and other bad things get stuck inside of it, and it kind of pools around it or inside of it, and shrimp can actually graze on that. I have it in my 60-gallon. I basically really like choya wood or chola wood. We are left with these 2 ram horn snails. I actually found this little baby. I don't know if you guys will get a good angle of him, but also I have this other one. They're both babies. I'm going to be adding them to the tank and see how they do. I will be doing an update on all my nano tanks eventually, probably in like a month, of what they look like, but let me add them to the tank. Alright, 5 little buddies. So you can already see he's latched on, I think, to the lava rock. So yeah, it's just a waiting game. We'll see how this tank does. If I see any problems with any of the plants or anything, I'll probably put them back in the 20-gallon. Let me actually straighten it a little bit. So this is a 1-gallon aquarium. It was really cheap. This is a really cheap budget tank, which is awesome, especially if you want like a little desk thing, kind of bringing nature in. I would definitely not recommend any fish, especially like betta fish, which people might think about putting in this tank, just because it's so small. There's no heater, there's no filtration. However, this will stay about room temperature, which most of these plants can thrive at. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend this for like fish or betta fish. I mean, I kind of want to get shrimp for it. It's really tempting. Maybe in the future. But yeah, I already know what I'm doing for the next tank, so make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. And if you want to check out this little tank, It looks better when the light's on it. But if you want to check out how I built this little tank, check it out right here on the screen. You can click that and watch it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and also the like button. That would mean a lot. I will catch you all on the flippity flop. Get ready for the next tank because the next tank's even bigger and I'm going to have some awesome stuff in it. Alright guys, I will see you all later. Bye.